On today's report, Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer plans to step down from the bench, setting the stage for Biden to make good on a key campaign promise to the black community. Meanwhile, yet another state court has thrown out a newly drawn congressional map because it disenfranchises black voters. Then questions surround the death of Tioni Theus, a 16-year-old black girl found shot on the side of a California freeway.
Plus, remembering Mamba. It's been 2 years since the tragic helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others. And the average Rolls Royce buyer isn't who you might imagine. We'll tell you who's more likely to ball in the raft.
President Biden has an important choice to make in what could become a monumental historic moment for the entire country. Today, we learned that Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer will step down from the High Court, and that allows Biden to deliver on a campaign promise to nominate a black woman to the bench. And given the disappointments and the failures that Biden has faced, from Build Back Better to voting legislation, this could reinvigorate his base and restore their faith in him ahead of the midterm elections. Breyer's announcement, it comes 5 months before his retirement, and that provides ample time for a nomination process. Democrats, they hold a slim majority in the Senate that could change if the GOP wins the Senate back after the midterm. Speaking of the situation in Ukraine, Russia's military buildup on the Ukrainian border, it's got Europe and the rest of the world really on pins and needles right now. The United States has been attempting to use diplomacy and its backing of NATO to head off what many see as an inevitable invasion of the neighboring Eastern European country. Terrell Jermaine Starr, he's host of the Black Diplomats podcast, also the founder of that, and he's a resident senior fellow at the Atlantic Council's Eurasia Center, and the HBCU grad is joining us live now from Ukraine to give us the nuts and bolts on this international crisis. Terrell, happy to have you. I want to ask you, as the Kremlin is considering this invasion, mounting this advancement of the military significantly, what's the mood like there? Are you concerned? Are people worried about their safety?
Yes, that's it. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me onto the show. In regards to people's concerns about a possible attack from the Kremlin, yes, there's a lot of anxiety here in the country. In fact, there are conversations with my journalist colleagues about if there is an attack and it reaches further into the central part of the country, where can I go? Where can I seek shelter? So there are a lot of contingency of conversations amongst my friends and even amongst the general population. But generally speaking, people are very calm and going about their lives, because ultimately, what can people do? I'm looking outside of my window right now. I'm in downtown Kiev, and people are going about their lives because, again, people are used to this threat. This is not the first time that the Kremlin has threatened to attack Ukraine. There's currently an occupation in eastern Ukraine, an illegal annexation of Crimea, which is a region in southern Ukraine. So people are used to this.
Yeah, we know about the annexation in Crimea. Tell me what you remember about the war between Russia and Georgia. Russia, of course, has done this before, and it was just a little more than a decade ago that they invaded Georgia. What do you remember about the time then?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for asking me that question. I was a graduate student in Georgia at the time, and I was completing my language requirement in Tbilisi. And when the Russians invaded, there was a disinformation campaign that led up to the months prior to the military invasion. A lot of disinformation going on, a lot of hacking going on. And so then that ultimately culminated into a military attack. So the same attack method that the Kremlin used against Georgia in 2008, they used it in 2014, the first time with Ukraine. And those same methods are not changing right now as we're leading up to a possible invasion now.
Congress is back in session. There's lots of work that needs to be done before the end of the year. They have to avoid a government shutdown. They have to deal with the debt ceiling. and they actually have to try to pass the president's Build Back Better economic agenda. The panel is back. The most pressing issue is averting that government shutdown. The short-term measure that funds all the government agencies is going to expire on Friday. And then there is that December 15th deadline on raising the debt ceiling. So, Crystal, will the Democrats get help from Republicans to stop the shutdown and raise the debt limit?